Good morning on the Rural Radio Network. I'm Bryce Duskett. It is time to look at the factors influencing the commodity trade today. On the line with us from Chicago is Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Overnight we were mixed. May corn down a penny, 4.52 1/4. May wheat down a half a cent, 5.27 3/4. And May beans up 4 1/4 cents at 10.27 1/4. Obviously, we have the reports today at 11 o'clock. First of all, we'll get the plantings. The average guess is 94.165. That's up 3.5 million acres from last year. The beans, 83.76. That's down 3.29 million acres. All wheat up 313,000 acres. The stocks numbers are looking for 81.95 on the corn. That's down 157 from a year ago. The beans, 18.95. That's up 50 million from a year ago. And the wheat at 1.22 billion bushels. That's up 131 from last year. We also have the tariffs to contend with on Wednesday. We'll see what the president does there. Apparently, there was an announcement that the president is considering more aid to American farmers out here, which is helpful for the American farmers going through what they're going through. But we have to see the reports. We have to see the tariffs, export inspections at 10 o'clock. So there's a lot going on here this week, and we'll have to see what all happens. But stock market's down 270 now. That might put a little bit of pressure on the grains. That's about it.
Yep, plenty to talk about. Mark Gold joining us live from Chicago. Appreciate that information. Want to let you know that trading futures involves a risk of loss and may not be suitable to all investors. That's a look at the grain market ahead of the open. I'm Bryce Duskett on the Rural Radio Network.
All across the country, people count on biodiesel because biodiesel works. It works so well that demand now exceeds 1 billion gallons a year. It fuels 60,000 U.S. jobs, adds 74 cents per bushel to soybean prices, and helps to keep the cost of soybean meal down for soybean farmers' #1 customer, Animal Ag. Biodiesel works for farmers, fleets, and municipalities. For America.
Big news from the Rural Radio Network. At this year's National Association of Farm Broadcasting Awards, our broadcasters earned an incredible 7 honors, more than any other broadcast group in the nation. Shout out to Chad Moyer, Alex Makovica, Susan Littlefield, and Bryce Duskett for leading the way in excellence across radio and video categories. The Rural Radio Network, your trusted source for award-winning agricultural news, markets, and information. Proudly serving farmers, ranchers, and rural communities every day.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network. Let's get our livestock comments this morning from Jerry Stowell with Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. Good morning to you, Jerry.
Good morning, Bryce. Today is not only the end of the month, but it is the end of the first quarter, so oftentimes that provides liquidity, and we do have a crop report today. The March crop reports always provides a lot of movement here. We have equity futures down hard as the markets are fearing April 2nd when Trump's tariff announcements come in, so a lot to look at. S&P's down 47, dollar index up 17. Dow futures 238 lower, crude oil up 40. Going back to Friday, the lean hog index was 88.78, down 35. And that pork cutout value rose 172 Friday to 95.76. Whether the sharply lower equities will play in the livestock futures, we'll just have to wait and see, but we'll just call them mixed to lower. Cattle complex, latest feeder index last Friday, 286.61, down 86. Beef cutout value fell 290 Friday night to 332.82. The cash trend for the week was steady at best, to spots $1 lower. Just kind of call it steady week or whatever you want to call it, but it was steady to $1 lower. And the big question today is with these huge fund positions long and open interest, huge long in cattle, will there be selling by those fund managers here at the end of the month, end of the quarter, in response to the sharply lower equities and uncertainty over the tariffs? We'll call the market lower here on the opening.
All right, thanks so much for that information. Jerry Stowell from Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas has been our guest this morning. If you'd like to contact them, go ahead and give them a call. Their phone number, 800-292-4038. Here on the Rural Radio Network, I'm Bryce Duskett reporting.